I go when I'm ready, okay? We ready? All right, I think we're ready. All right, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for being a part of the show. I told you guys 8 o'clock tonight. Sometimes I got things I got to do, okay? Sometimes I got things I got to do. Appreciate you guys being here. Big time win for the Lakers. Sometimes you go, oh, Slee, well, yeah, you're going to shadow box? I'll shadow box when I'm ready, okay? When I feel like it's appropriate and the game is right, I'll shadow box. All right, appreciate you guys being here. Damn, big time win. I want to put the headphones on, but, I'll have kind of, I got to have that or that. I'll put the headphones on for now. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. Appreciate you guys being here. Sometimes I don't care how they get it done. Just get it done. Just get the win. However you get the win, just get the win. Did they give up a 7-point lead with about 2 minutes left to go? Sure, maybe they did. Does the final score say 120 to 119? It does. That's all that should matter tonight. Thank you for being a part of the show. Appreciate you guys being a part of the post-game show. Sometimes there's, sometimes some games are they're a little more important than others. Sometimes you might have to, throw on a little bit more of a, how do we put it here? Business attire for the game like this. We got a lot to get into tonight. So I appreciate you guys being a part of the show, and I appreciate you guys hanging out. Big time W for the Los Angeles Lakers. Really, really desperate for a win tonight. I mean that when I say it. Desperate for a win tonight. And they got it done. 120-119 because LeBron James, right place at the right time, tips in a Luka Doncic miss to get the win at the buzzer. Were the Lakers outscored by 10 in the third quarter? They were. Did they give up consecutive layups there in the fourth quarter to make this a game? Sure, they did. But the final score, 120-119, they had to have it. Got to be honest with everybody. I don't know how confident I was that they would lose the game or that they would win the game tonight. The stretch that they've been playing, that they've been coming off of, 3 losses in a row, ugly losses, loss against Orlando, loss against Chicago. They put up 146 points, kind of losing a little bit of confidence on this Lakers team. But they walk away with a win in a tough game, tough environment. That's not win to go win. It's not easy to go win at Indiana. Indiana's a good team. I'm not telling you they're going to go be in the NBA Finals, but Indiana's a good team. And the tip in from LeBron to go get the W, just obviously everything kind of done in a way, in a fashion that just made that game even more exciting than it was. Exactly what you were looking for tonight. So by the time I came on here, starting at 8 o'clock, JJ had already talked. Luke had already talked. LeBron had already talked. AR had already talked. So I'm not going to play any interviews. I'm just going to shoot the you-know-what with everybody here. We're going to hang out. We're going to have a good time chatting about this Lakers win. Get my lighting just a little bit better here in front of me. And I'm going to answer a lot of your questions. I'm going to read a lot of your comments, and then we'll preview the game coming up tomorrow against the Chicago Bulls. Big win for the Lakers. Good win for the Lake Show. Let's talk a little bit about the game. I want to talk about the final possession here for a quick second. I don't know if you guys heard Luka just talk, but Luka just finished talking here a few minutes ago, but I'll kind of get into what he said because there's one thing that came out of his mouth that I think was really important. Luka didn't hit the game winner. LeBron did. But Luka took the last shot. And Luka said something in his interview. He said that he was very appreciative that LeBron passed him the ball to take the final shot. It's kind of a key moment right there. That's kind of that quote kind of hit me there for a quick second. It's like LeBron saying, nope, I'm not going to have the ball top of the key. I'm going to make the final decision. I'm going to make the final play. It's LeBron telling Luka Doncic, game's on the line, buddy. What are you going to do? And how ironic is it that it's Luka that takes the final shot, misses, and it's LeBron that gets the final tip in the game winner. But I'm going to go back to what I just said. Luka Doncic saying, I appreciated that he gave me the ball to take that final shot, I think is a symbolic moment of where we are with the Los Angeles Lakers right now. A true passing of the guard from one of the greatest to ever do it. And what the Lakers are hoping for is a top 2, 3, 4 player in the league for the next 7 to 10 years, something along those lines. It's LeBron that passes it to Luka. Luka takes the shot, misses, and LeBron still gets the final bucket, a tip in off a rebound. Do you know how difficult what LeBron did, how difficult that was? The timing of, I got to wait till the ball comes out of the cylinder so it's not offensive goaltending. And then I got to tip it in as quick as I can, knowing that I literally have 1/10 of a second left on the clock to call ball game. And then finally, he's looking up, he's got his hand up, he's got his finger up, and he's starting to mouth, that's ball game. And then they see the replay and it's like, oh, no, he got that off just, obviously just in the nick of time. But that's a cool moment right there. I love that LeBron said, Luka, you take the final shot. And then I love that Luka in the post-game show said, I appreciate LeBron throwing me the ball and saying, take the final shot. It's a cool moment. I really actually think that's kind of an interesting moment in Lakers. I want to say Lakers history because that sounds like it's too big, but the current Laker franchise and where the organization has been over the last 7 years and where it's potentially going to go for the next 7 to 10 years. Cool moment there. And I think it was smart for LeBron to say, you take that shot. And I think it was smart for Luka to say, I appreciate you handing me that ball. You're one of the greatest to do it. You're still one of, an elite players in the league right now. Before his injury, he's probably playing top 7, top 10 in the NBA. And he knows that was a cool moment, and he knows that he was appreciative of it. Where it goes from here, we'll see. But LeBron gets the tip in to win the game against the Indiana Pacers when they're struggling. LeBron wasn't even having a great game. I mean, I think everybody would agree with this. It's not like we've been watching, in this game with LeBron. I'm going to go through everybody's stats here in just a second here, and I'll start looking at the comments here in just a little bit. But that portion to me, as I sit here and I kind of mentioned that, I think it's symbolic in a sense from that perspective. Okay. Let me look at a little bit of the box score here because I do want to talk about just some of the individual players and everything else. So real quick on what LeBron did tonight. Not a typical LeBron night. LeBron almost, there was a point there. A lot of people thought, he's had all these consecutive games with 10 plus points, 13 points, 13 rebounds and 7 assists. So I think that's one of the beauties of LeBron's game. He's got the ability to do this. He wasn't taking a ton of shots, just 4-12 from the field, kind of trying to feel his way back. Reeves was having a good game, a phenomenal first half. Luka was cooking. So LeBron was kind of trying to find his own, but he wasn't doing what LeBron would typically do on an offensive game. Still 13 rebounds and 7 assists, and we know what he did, obviously, with that final tip-in. Luka tonight. I did a video this morning. Chris Broussard had a video out yesterday basically saying, hey, is Luka shooting too much? Is he hogging the ball too much? Whatever the case is. It's a nice stat line for Luka. And let me tell you why I like this stat line for a couple of reasons. I like it because 21 shots, he was efficient. 11 to 21, that's over 50% from the field. 6 of 10 from the three-point line. 6 of 7 from the free throw line. 34, 7, and 7 with 3 turnovers. Also had a block shot. That's a nice stat line. Plus minus, not that great. I know he was a minus 16, but his stats tonight, if you're dropping 34 and you're shooting over 50% from the field, then you could still dish out 7 dimes and get 7 rebounds in the process. That's a solid night. That's a solid day at the office, and nobody should be complaining about Luka tonight. There have been some games where I think he takes some shots, maybe some ill-advised shots. Maybe the shots aren't going in. I'd like to see him get his assists up more. I think Luka can be a killer with his passing and continuing to set up guys like Rui or LeBron or Austin Reeves or Dorian Finney-Smith or Gabe Vincent or Jackson Hayes, go down the list. But that will come, I think, in time. I think the Lakers are still obviously trying to figure each other out. But that's Luka's night tonight. Austin Reeves, 24 for the Lakers. Awful from the three-point line, but everything else he was doing. 8 of 16 from the field, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Just couldn't hit a three. All his misses were literally from the three-point line. He was 1 of 8 from the three-point line. He missed 8 shots total. 7 of them came from the three-point line, so something to keep in mind there. How about the entire starting lineup scores in double figures tonight? Jackson Hayes, 13 points, 6 of 6 from the field. Rui Hachimura, nice to have Rui back. Good to have Rui back. Good to see Rui look a little bit more like Rui Hachimura as well. I think that part to me is, the key one here with Rui is this wasn't Rui just playing. This was also Rui looking like Rui. Figure out this damn lighting. I don't like that lighting the way it was. There we go. That's a little bit better. This was Rui also looking like Rui. This is the Rui Hachimura that, for a while, for most of this season, he had stretches. You go all the way back to February where Rui really had some nice contributions for the Lakers, but then he misses 10, 11 games, whatever the case is, with the amount of games that he misses. And tonight, big-time shots, big-time buckets for Rui Hachimura. 2 big shots critical late in the game where you thought Lakers were kind of wrapping this game up, that they were in a good position to go get the win. 2 big-time shots from Rui Hachimura. The entire starting lineup tonight. Rui, 14. LeBron, 13, 13, and 7. Jackson Hayes, 13. Luka Doncic, 34, 7, and 7. And then Austin Reeves, I mentioned the 24, 5, and 4. Everybody in the starting lineup was in double figures and found ways to contribute. Dorian Finney-Smith, I'm a fan of his numbers tonight as well, had 11 points for the Lakers, 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 from the three-point line. You know what's crazy? It's kind of a crazy stat to look at as we sit here. You know how the highest plus-minus for the Lakers tonight? The highest plus-minus? And he had 0 points. 6 rebounds, 3 assists for Jared Vanderbilt. Had a plus 24 in the plus-minus in 16 minutes of play. So, great contributions from him. Gabe, I thought, hit a couple timely buckets. He had 6 points as well. So, that's the Lakers from a team perspective, offensive perspective. And like I said, I think that moment that will stand out to me is the moment that LeBron says, Luka, you go make it happen. And then Luka misses a shot. LeBron tips it in. And then it's LeBron, or then it's Luka basically telling LeBron that he's appreciative that he went to him for the final shot. All right, let's take a look at let's get people's thoughts, comments on the game. Thank you for hanging out here. If you guys don't mind, do me a quick favor here and please subscribe to the channel. No cost to subscribe to the channel. Trying to get to 32,000 subscribers. I would appreciate the support of the channel. It would mean a lot if you don't mind subscribing. All right, let me take a quick look here and let's start taking a look at some of these comments here. All right, let's go all the way. I got to go back. I mean, part of me feels like I got to go back to the beginning of this thing. I want to kind of see what some of these people got to say from everybody else. Let's see what we have here. I'm really scared of our late game defense with Luka. We'll worry about that another time. Slee gets to shave. Right. I was thinking about this earlier. I'm like, okay, well, I said this morning, I basically said I'm not going to shave until the Lakers win. And then they won. So now do I not shave because they won? Like I'm already in my own head here. This is what happens to me. I get in my own head. All right, let's see what we got here. Slee, this is for you, LeBron. Amir, I heard him say that. You're 100% right. Slee, this is for you. I heard LeBron say, I saw him mouth those words out. All right, let's get another one here. By the way, for those who think I'm late, I've been saying for 2 straight days, I can't come on until late. Can't come on until late. All right, let's maybe I went too far back. There were too many comments in here. I'm desperate for wins. My petty criticism on wins are done. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, I really think this, and I'm probably going to say this a few different times tonight as we sit here. Sometimes you really genuinely should not care how you got a W. Get the win and move on. And Indiana's a good team. Winning against a good team on the road, and the Lakers, we know how they've struggled. They've struggled, number one, against the Eastern Conference, and they've also struggled on the road. It's not like the Lakers have a great road record or anything along those lines. So let me actually look at something real quick, because I do want to see home and away. What are the Lakers? 15-19 coming into this game. So this is critical. Just get the win and move on. So I think those that were frustrated, then you start looking at the Lakers, their last few losses: Magic, Chicago, Milwaukee. They've lost 7 of 10. How can you just get out of this? Is there a way that you can just put yourself in a position where you could stop the bleeding? Tonight's a significant one. Now, we'll talk about the Chicago Bulls in a little bit, and obviously what that game could mean for tomorrow and how critical that's going to be. But like T-Rong says here, the W is the only thing that counts. Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, let's get another one in here. Mitch Potter, I'm on vacation right now, but had to make an exception to tune into this one. Solid game. Braun will get his legs and his lungs back. I think Indiana is no joke. Yeah, I saw some stat here. And this isn't me taking a shot at Luka or anything like that, but I want to point something out here. And I think LeBron had said this too in the postgame show. There was a moment there where Spectrum was showing some stats of what Luka's done over his last 4 games, and the numbers were solid. And the only number I cared about is, are they winning these games or are they losing? And somebody had mentioned, hey, LeBron, this was not one of your best offensive games. You saw what was going on. You're struggling from the field. You really didn't have it going offensively. LeBron kind of said something to the effect of like, well, did we get the win or did we not? And I think that's the only thing that all these guys should be. Listen, if Luka goes off in a game, Luka 34-7-7 and looked pretty good tonight, right? 6 of 10 from the 3-point line. If the Lakers lose this game, does that really matter? It's kind of like, all right, what you got it in an L. Maybe tonight it's different because it was close. But in the game against Chicago, does anybody care what an individual does? Does anybody care what an individual does when you're losing against Orlando by double digits? I don't think anybody cares. So I think with that in mind, this is kind of goes to some of your guys' points of just grab the win and let's move on. AR always very, 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 very nice with his supers here. So thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it, brother. Slee, we need it badly. We needed this win badly. My brother, I don't care what anybody says. Win is win. This one's different. Let me tell you why this one's different. Somebody's saying I was pre-gaming before that. I wish I was. I wish. I'm not taking down too many on a Wednesday. I'm going to tell you that right now. Let me tell you why this is not a win is a win. It's not because you're facing the number 4 team in the Eastern Conference that's got a pretty good team and they're playing good ball right now. A win is a win is if you barely squeak by, and let's say instead of losing to Brooklyn, you won by 2 or 3. You're like, all right, just take the freaking win and move on. A win is if they had beat Charlotte, but they lost to Charlotte. I don't know why I'm picking all these games where they ended up losing. That's when I think you use the term a win is a win. Not right now. Not in their predicament, their situation. I wouldn't say a win is a win. All right. AR, thank you, brother. Thank you again for the super. I'm very appreciative of that, and very nice of you to do so. All right, let's get a couple more of these in here. Got to do one thing here real quick as we keep going. Slee, why does ESPN block the game? I don't know. Guys, I can't do this whole blocking thing anymore. I don't even know what games I could watch anymore. Sometimes I'll have the league pass. I can't watch a game. Sometimes I'll get MLB league pass, and everywhere I go, they're saying you're blocked here, this, that. I don't know what I can watch anymore. I don't know what I can watch. So If somebody wants to tell me how the hell all this works, please tell me, because I don't know. I'm glad Rui looks like himself. You know what? More than just Rui, I'm going to tell you this. I'm glad the team is just kind of back. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to look pretty. That doesn't mean it's going to look pretty all the time. Actually, we know it doesn't look pretty all the time because we've been watching it. It doesn't mean it looks great all the time. It doesn't mean they're going to click all the time. I mean, they haven't been playing good basketball, but at least have everybody back every game. Don't you kind of chip away at, all right, they look a little bit better tonight. All right, they're figuring this out. Okay, the rotations look a little bit more like J.J. Redick's vision. That's really what you're asking for. That's really what you're looking for. Let's keep going here. We got the W. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I didn't know that, Omaris. So this is, I think, part of my point of why a win isn't just a win in this situation. Indiana 25-9 at home. Come on now. That's not easy. 25-9 at home. All right, they're doing work. All right, let's get a couple more of these supers in here. This LeBron-Stephen A feud is not good. We're trying to win a championship, guys. Yet another distraction. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that in the post-game show tonight. I think tomorrow, when I'm doing my regular show at 8 a.m., and, we'll also be getting ready for the game against the Chicago Bulls, I'll spend a little bit more time on that. I think that I'll play actually the clips out there, is what it is. There were some quotes that came from Bron today that, were really interesting. There's some other quotes that it's like, all right, it's all over the place, but that's what happens when you do a long form interview. Tomorrow I'll break more of that down. So thank you for the super, brother. I appreciate it. Let's get another one in here. Hallelujah, Luka. Do you guys ever just have moments during a game where I had it today. Because ESPN, obviously was carrying the game, and there was a moment there where they're showing his stats at halftime, and I just stop and I just say, they really traded him? I'm going to read a text from my cousin. He sent me during the game. This is what he said. He said, like, we get to watch Luka as a Laker, bro. Think about that. This is today. This isn't a month ago. This is 2 months after he got traded. I'm still getting a text saying, do you know Luka's a Laker? I don't think that's going to go away for a very long time. I think that's going to be there for a long time. David, thank you for the super, brother. All right, let's get another one in here. You guys are, by the way, really, 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 I greatly appreciate it. Whether you're throwing supers or you're not throwing supers, I appreciate all the comments and the chats and everything else. But obviously somebody that's using some of their hard-earned money to throw it on the channel, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Tom, you totally have to play Man in the Lakers song after this game. It's on YouTube. Also, I just returned from Cali to Europe, and it's crazy. I can watch Lakers matches easier here. Tom, thank you, brother. Man, that's awesome. I went to Europe. Freaking jealous. Here I am slaving away, and you're out there just enjoying your life. What did I do wrong? Tom, I appreciate it, bro. All right, Man in the Lakers song at this game. Here's the problem if I play it. If I play it, then do I get copyright? And then basically, I'm working as a charity here. I'll take a listen to it. But not while I'm doing the show. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the super here. Let's get another one. We will take the win, but Luka's defense has to be dealt with. Okay. Let's talk about this here for a quick second, and then there's a couple other things that I want to get into. So let me say this real quick on Luka. Guys, there's going to be a give and take period. Luka's defense isn't going to change. This is going to be his defense. This is Luka Doncic. And the only thing that's going to change is Luka drop some LBs. That's, one thing that I would recommend for him. Hopefully he does drop a couple LBs. And then you build a team around him that can be a little bit more similar to how Dallas got to the NBA Finals. You got a really good defensive team around him. You got size around him. And that's something the Lakers are going to have to address in the summer. But for this year, it's going to be really difficult to address some of the things that the Lakers need. And I don't think Luka's going to change tomorrow and all of a sudden he's going to become Gary Payton. It ain't just going to happen. It's not going to happen. He's not going to become, think of some of the better defenders in the NBA. I don't think that's going to happen. But I understand what you're saying, and I understand your frustration is that you're going to get into the postseason. Guys are going to go at him. I mentioned in the game against Orlando, Luka against Franz Wagner looked like he was going up against an 11-year-old. There was no defense. I know Tyrese, some of these guys are going right at Luka. Tyrese got that shot towards the end of the game where I think they got the and one and kind of get any shot that they want on him. So is that going to be a problem? Sure, it's going to be a problem. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Thank you for the super, brother. I appreciate that very much. I want to point something out here. B has gifted out a membership. So if you guys want to be an MVP member, not too far away from, we're kind of getting into that 250 range, something along those lines as far as memberships. It's a great way to support the channel. I just put a link right here. If you're here and you're not a member and you want to consider it, it's $3 a month. I do exclusive content for members, but I want no pressure on anybody. If you can do it and you just want to support the channel, that's the best way to do it. If we can get 5 new members by the end of the show, would be awesome. It'd be phenomenal. And there's a link there. B, thank you for gifting a membership out there for one of our fans here. HH, super sticker there. Thank you, HH. Appreciate the support, brother. Thank you very much for doing that. Okay, let's keep going here. I'm going to keep HH's comment there because I'm appreciative for that 10 spot, just doing it for the hell of it. What else went on tonight? Let's go take a look at some of the NBA scores, and let's go see what else happened in the league tonight. I know the Suns are getting their asses kicked. What a shock and a surprise. They're down 19 to the Celtics, and I'm not even, I was going to say secretly rooting. I'm not secretly rooting anything. I want Dallas in that number 10 spot. I don't want to see Phoenix get in. I don't feel like they care about getting in. And I wouldn't mind watching Anthony Davis try to get into the playoffs. Clippers over the Knicks and Nuggets over the Bucks. So keep that in mind. As we look at the standings after the Lakers get this win, here's where they're at. Back in the number 4 spot against Memphis. Pay close attention to the game coming up on Saturday, Lakers in Memphis. Sammy was on. He's, obviously does all the preview videos. And Sammy was saying that Lakers got a 2-1 advantage on Memphis. So Saturday's game, it's got a lot of implications here. You win that game, you not only gain a game in the standings, you gain another game because you got the tiebreaker as well. So Lakers right now, if the playoffs started, would be the number 4 seed. They'd get Memphis in the first round, and the games will be at home. Here's a good thing for the Lakers. And I'm really pushing for at least 1 round from crypto. They're 28-9 at home. 28-9 at home. That's the second best record in the Western Conference at home. OKC's 30-5 at home. And then everybody else has more losses than the Lakers do. Home court advantage can be a great advantage for the Lakers. So keep an eye out. Obviously, you still got the Chicago Bulls coming up tomorrow, but I'm just mentioning the Memphis game. So as the dust kind of settles here, and we're all watching what happens over these next now 10, 11 games. What is it now? They've played 2 on the road trip. They played 2 Orlando 10 games left on the season. Doing the math in my head here. 10 games left on the season. Still a lot of moving and shaking that can happen. The number 3 spot's not out of the picture because Denver's got, obviously they're 46-28. Lakers are 44-28. The number 2 spot's not out of the picture. You got Houston at 47-26. 2-game cushion on the Lakers in the loss column, but still 2 more matchups left between the Lakers and the Rockets. What I find fascinating over these last 10 games is we have not yet seen a Luka LeBron team against Memphis, against Houston, and against OKC. And 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 games still left against just those 3 teams. Got one, I think, against the Warriors as well. That's mixed in here somewhere. Where's the Warriors game coming? Yeah, that's coming in on April 3rd. So really cool matchup still left for the Lakers to kind of get a chance to see what they look like against some of these other teams in front of them in the standings. So I'm looking forward to that. HH, thank you for the super, brother. Appreciate that. All right, let's take a look at some more of your guys' comments as we continue to roll here. Lakers Houston is very interesting. I agree. To be honest with you, I think that part of me thinks these matchups are interesting also because I'm not 100% sure what they are. I don't know what these matchups are. So I was saying a little bit earlier today, I think I'd rather play Memphis than Houston. And I know you'd say, well, why? Memphis has Ja Morant. Memphis has Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond. They got a nice team. I'm not taking anything away from Memphis. I feel like Houston's more connected. That squad plays defense. That squad, do they have as much top-end talent? No, but I feel like they will muddy the water. They will play ugly. They'll play dirty. They're going to kind of be exactly what their coach wants them to be. And that's not a terrible style in the playoffs. Now, the problem is, can they score? Do they have enough guys that can play offensively for them? But just to go to this comment, Lakers Houston is very interesting. I think all these matchups are interesting because I'm not sure what these other squads, I'm not sure what the matchup is. If you told me Anthony Davis was on this team and Lakers never got Luka, then I'd say, okay, cool. I know what they are against Memphis. I know what they are against Denver. I know what they are against the Clippers. I know what they are against, kind of go down the list. But the lineups, Lakers swapped out superstars. The team is completely different than what it was just a couple months ago. So I'm not 100% sure what that matchup is against some of these teams. Now, Denver, we got a little bit of let me put it this way. I feel a lot more confident about Denver with the Luka, LeBron, Lakers than I do with Anthony Davis and LeBron because Lakers lost 13 of 14. I feel a lot more confident Lakers against the Clippers because I know Luka's had a lot of success against the Clippers, and the Lakers have been beating them in the regular season with this Luka-led team. But there's still some teams out there that I have no idea what it's going to look like. All right, let's keep going here. I want to look at some more of these comments. Yeah, it's interesting. Some people kind of giving their thoughts here about potentially the matchup against whether it's the Rockets or Memphis or whatever the case is. Too many sets of back-to-backs. Nothing you could do about it. Speaking of back-to-backs, Lakers got the Chicago Bulls coming up tomorrow. You guys remember the last matchup against Chicago? Oh, my God, what happened in that game. And the Bulls are playing some good ball. And it's a second of a back-to-back. And every loss that the Lakers have is completely critical. Last time Lakers and the Bulls played against each other was whatever that was, less than a week ago. It was that Saturday. Bulls kicked their ass. Chicago, kind of looking at their last few games, they've won 4 of their last 5 games. Beat the Jazz, lost to the Suns, beat the Kings, beat the Lakers. Demolished the Lakers. Lakers gave 146 points. And they beat the Nuggets. Now, the Nuggets I want to say they didn't have Jokic and Aaron Gordon. But look at the numbers they're putting up offensively. They got a 114. Let me give you some of their games offensively, what they're putting up. They put up 125 against the Magic, 114 against Miami, 121 against the Pacers, 116 against the Nets, 114, 111, 127, 128, 146, 129. They are putting up numbers. Kobe White, Josh Giddey. They got guys that are putting up real numbers. And the bad news for tomorrow is Lakers got a second of a back-to-back. Chicago's been chilling. They didn't have to play tonight. So it's going to be an interesting one tomorrow. And as important of a game as this was, as critical of a game as this was, as clutch as the Lakers were in this game to kind of find a way to win at the end, you got to turn around and you got the Chicago Bulls coming tomorrow. So still another challenge waiting for the Lakers. It's coming up. So that to kind of go on the too many back-to-backs. How many more back-to-backs do they have the rest of the way? Let's take a look here. So let's pretend tomorrow's done. Then they have 2 more back-to-backs. So after tomorrow, 2 more back-to-backs. I mean, hell, they had 4 back-to-backs just in the month of March. Is that 4? Yeah, 4 sets of back-to-backs in the month of March. So at least the good news is last one for the month of March, 2 more left to go. And, honestly, nobody's going to feel bad for the Lakers. No more bitching and complaining. They're just going to have to go. They're going to have to deal with it. All right, let's take a look at some more comments here. 3 more, I think. Yeah, so if you include this one, it is 3 more. Technically, it would be 2 more if we're not counting the one that's coming up tomorrow. All right. Wow, the NBA is screwing the Lakers. Is what it is. I'm going to say it again. Kind of is what it is. The schedule's all over the place. I'm not 100% sure how they're making some of these determinations. One of those back-to-backs also had to do with the situation with the LA wildfires. So, just kind of some unfortunate circumstances, and the Lakers will have to deal with it. All right. I got to talk real quick here about one of our main partners, Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm. Shout out to him. Shout out to the whole team over there. Phenomenal last week. What was it? A week ago today, I was there. Did one of my did the Sliwa show from there. Really, really happy about this partnership. Really, really happy to get a chance to introduce you guys to Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm. Tell you guys a little bit about his business, and hope you guys never need him, but things do happen in life. And I will tell you, if you're looking for an injury attorney, he's the best in the business. He could help anybody in the state of California. I brought him on the podcast, so you guys got a little bit of a chance to kind of meet him behind the scenes. Chill dude, really, really good guy, somebody that I trust, known for 5 years. He used to advertise with me when I'm at 710 ESPN. Now I'm on my own doing a solo show on YouTube, and he's following me here to support the channel. If you or someone you know is in a serious injury, you should reach out to Brad Wallace. Let him walk you or your family through your legal options. I'm sure it's a very intimidating, daunting process. Let an expert in the field help you. And like I said, he can help anybody in the state of California. URL here that I want to obviously throw out to everybody, wallacewins.com/Sliwa. wallacewins.com/Sliwa. Basically what that is, it's a way for you to get a free consultation if you need my help at all and say, hey, Al, I'm not comfortable going to the website. Can you make a personal introduction to Brad? I'll do it. 100%. No problem doing it. He'd be happy if I made a personal introduction as well. So hopefully you never need him, but they're proven trial lawyers, and he's the head of the snake in that, and a really good dude. And obviously if you do need an introduction, I'm happy to do it. So shout out to Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm for supporting the channel and supporting the show. Usually during games like this, I get Brad who's texting me. He gets, Al, what the hell's going on with this team? It's like, Brad, I don't know. I don't have that much of insider information, even though I appreciate that you're asking me here. The man wants answers. Why'd they lose 7 of 10? All right. Good thing is Lakers back on track. All right. Let's see what else we got here. 6 games, 8 days, 7 games in 10 days. Of course, teams are running the Lakers. They're on fumes, to use JJ's words. We are tired. That's what I meant by they found a way. It's a grit win. So let me just kind of say this real quick. It's kind of the situation in the NBA period. So with all that in mind, I wouldn't be too the league is trying to play. No, they kind of had some circumstances that things just kind of happened. The question's going to be for the Lakers, can you, at least at the minimum, put yourself in a position, finish the rest of the season, see if you can just, of course, avoid the play-in tournament. LeBron just got 2 weeks of rest in the month of March. Who would have thought that was going to happen? They still got a chance at having home court in the first round, and maybe even home court for the first 2 rounds if some things go their way. I think they're in a great position to finish off the season. You got 10 games left to go. Finish the season off strong. And because of that play-in tournament, if you're not in it, you're getting at least 5-6 days off. So they'll get a chance to practice, prepare for the team that they're going to play, and certainly kind of get a little bit of rest before the playoffs start. So thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yes, this is correct. Blindfolded, by the way, too. Blindfolded. He's a legend. He's a legend. All right, let's get some more here. Let's get another one here. Slee, we're on such a roll, and we killed that momentum with that stupid Bucks game, and now we're scraping to get that momentum back. Maybe the Pacers game is that game. Yeah, I'll tell you this. They really had so much momentum before LeBron got injured too. And, there's a part of me that once they started losing all these games, they lost 7-10, and the games they were losing to, and then all of a sudden they weren't playing defense. I think there was a very fair question of, did this squad just peak? Is this kind of the position or the situation that the Lakers are in, that they played their best basketball too early? All right. They kind of had that hiccup now, right? Now they've got a chance to kind of taste a little bit of some L's. They got a chance to kind of put themselves in a situation or predicament where it's like, all right, we're not as good as maybe we thought we were. You know what? We do have to be better. Damn, this team does have to be connected. Guys, you can't win a championship in February or in March. And you also can't get to the Western Conference Finals in February or March. And you can't lock up the numbers 2 seed in February or March. So with all that being said, it's a good win tonight. I think it still puts them in a good position. Okay, am I not noticing something? This is what I need a little bit of help on. I see a lot of Giannis comments. Did something happen with Giannis that I don't know about? Let's see what we got here. So you guys let me know if, request a trade. I don't know. I know Dame's got, dealing with that blood clot. But let me know if you guys are just speculating things or if there's actually some news behind anything else going on. Well, I know he didn't get traded, but I keep seeing this. He wants out of Milwaukee. Anything? Because let me tell you guys this. I've said this before, and I said this. I don't know. Maybe it was around a month ago. That Giannis is the one player that if you told me what player do you think would leave his franchise in the next couple of years, I would say Giannis. Like if you said Ant is gone out of Minnesota, I'm like, nah, too early. If you said Jokic is leaving Denver, I don't think so. If you said, let me find it. I'm just kind of trying to think some players. Tatum leaving the Celtics? No. Why would he leave the Celtics? Giannis is the one guy that I would say, yeah, that one's interesting. Already won them an NBA championship. It continues to put pressure on that organization. Has said publicly in the past that, hey, I don't want to be known as a guy that just won one chip. I think there's some signs there with Giannis where it's like, yeah, I'm not surprised at all if Giannis decided at some point, guys, I'm going to move on. So, anyways, I know nothing is imminent or anything like that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Poor Dame, that's my guy. Yeah, I feel bad for Dame too. That just never happened, right? And then even this Chris Middleton trade, Kyle Kuzma, it feels like they're kind of probably spinning their wheels. And if Dame's not healthy, probably a first-round exit against the team that the Lakers just beat tonight in Indiana. All right, let's take a look at some more comments here. Rich, thank you for the super, brother. What do you think of LeBron's post-game? Only got 6 shots in third quarter, and that's weird comments, something or nothing. I noticed that too. Yeah, he had 6 shots, I think, through 3 quarters. And clearly what I think LeBron was saying right there is, I didn't take enough shots. But I noticed it as well. Let's just say that. Because afterwards he said, But the most important thing is, did we get the win? And we got the win. And I think Mike Trudell was trying to indicate that even though you weren't getting shots, you found other ways to contribute. Hey, the last shot is a perfect example. You get a tip in, you get a rebound, you get that bucket in, the Lakers win the game. Was he saying anything about not getting enough shots? Maybe. And then he certainly got it going a little bit in the fourth quarter and then got the final tip in. But I think, Rich, I'll say this. He is literally the one guy that doesn't need to say anything to the media. He's LeBron James. If LeBron James wants to walk into that locker room or during a timeout and say, give me the damn ball, every single player on that team would say, LeBron asked for the ball. Give him the ball. Like, I don't think there's going to be any question there. I don't think there's no conversation there. So maybe he was saying something. I don't know, but I know exactly the moment you're talking about because I did hear that and say, is Bron trying to indicate something? Is he trying to indicate he didn't get enough shots? Is Bron just trying to say, well, I only had so many points because, well, what else is supposed to happen? I just didn't take that many shots. Whatever he was going to say. He did have the game winner. All right, what else we got here? So you're really at crypto, or is that a screensaver? I have a bedroom here. I have a loft here. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath loft. I Airbnb it when I'm not in town. So it's my place. I'm wearing boxers right now. I got flip-flops, boxers right after the show is done. I take a shower. I get up 300 shots. I have to hit 10 free throws in a row, and then I call it a night and I get ready for the Sliwa show. I run stairs too. I go from section 118 to 104 before I go to bed. I pray at half court right before I go to bed as well. Let's keep going here. Any drinks tonight, Slee? Not tonight, man. I know. It's a Wednesday. You want more out of me. I maybe later. Maybe on Saturday if they beat Memphis. Ernie 76, thank you for the super brother. Lakers absolutely need to try and get Giannis. Teams don't need 3 superstars. Luka and Giannis might be enough with a good supporting cast 2 years. Giannis has made some comments about some big market teams. I would tell you right now, if you said, what are the teams that are tied to Giannis? You've heard the Golden State Warriors and you've heard the New York Knicks. But if you're Giannis, hypothetically, how old is Giannis? Let's just wildly start trying to make a trade for Giannis. Giannis is currently 30 years old. If you're Giannis and you decided, you know what, I want out of Milwaukee, and you get to start looking at your options anywhere that you can go, and you're trying to get to a big market, and you've been very loyal to the Bucks, and whether they like it or not, you deliver them an NBA freaking championship. So for the rest of your life, you're a Bucks legend, a legend. They haven't won an NBA championship since Kareem. And you're looking at where you want to go. Let's see Giannis's contract. All right, let's really start going down the rabbit hole. Let's see when he's available. Let's see how many more years he has. Okay. Giannis has a player option 2027, 2028. So that means next year he's on the Milwaukee Bucks. That's right, because he had a 3-year extension. Next year he's on the Bucks. But the following year, that's when he could really put pressure on the organization of, guys, I'm going to be leaving. I'm going to be declining my player option in 2027, 2028. He'd be 33 years old there. But I think if he wanted out of Milwaukee, you could probably get him at age 32. And if Giannis was looking at what's the best opportunity, where can I go? Look, I don't know, Steph Curry in a couple of years, what's that team going to look like? Jimmy Butler's on that team, Draymond Green. That's an old team. I don't think you want to go to the Golden State Warriors unless they did some stuff, but I don't think you want to go to the Golden State Warriors. Okay, the Knicks front office, I give them credit. They've been better these last couple of years. They're going to keep kind of positioning themselves and figuring out how to be competitive for years. But Luka and the Lakers, you got the most prestigious franchise in the league, them and the Celtics. You got the most, you got obviously Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer that's been here. But the most important thing is Luka's not even in his prime in 2 years. No, he'll be walking into his prime in 2 years. He'll be at the start of his prime around 27, 28. It's an interesting situation if they can put themselves in that spot. Ernie, I appreciate the super, brother. Thank you. All right, let's look at some of these comments here. Let's see what we got here. By the way, somebody's putting something here. Concern is that'd be different again. Can I just tell you this real quick about the Western Conference too? Here's another one. Lakers will defeat OKC with a Greek freak. Can I just tell you? Can you guys think about this here real quick? The West in another year. OKC. I'm looking at young teams. OKC. San Antonio, Houston, probably a part of that mix as well. There's some freaking young, up-and-coming teams that are either already here or they're waiting, and they're right in the rearview mirror, and they're getting ready to go. That's going to be that next phase of the Western Conference, led by OKC. It's going to be a headache for a long time. Kareem was 32 in 1980. Let's go, Giannis. It's a good stat to have right there. You're getting me pumped up. So I'm just telling you, if you start looking at the landscape, you're Giannis. Warriors, been phenomenal since Curry's been there the last 10, 12 years. The Knicks never won an NBA championship, or haven't won a championship since the 70s when Phil Jackson was on that team. You could be a hero in New York forever. But the Lakers and Luka, oh my gosh. All right, let's get a couple more of these comments in here. Let's keep going. Very young and very good teams. OKC is bad. Yeah, listen. I watched, I said it this morning. Last night, I was watching a little bit. OKC and Sacramento was on in the background. I just kind of had the game. I wasn't really paying too much attention. And then I started, and this is in the first half. I'm like, let me, every time I feel like I watch OKC, but let me just kind of give this a solid 20 minutes of watching the Oklahoma City Thunder play. They made Sacramento look so bad. I mean, if I'm Sacramento, you're not competing for the present. And if the Oklahoma City Thunder are the future in the Western Conference, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do. I would change professions. OKC is freaking solid. They really, really are a good team. It's going to be interesting. This is the one thing but they're inexperienced. That's going to be the one thing. Now, they're more experienced this year than they were a year ago because Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso obviously is an NBA champion. Can we get a dub tomorrow? What should we expect tomorrow? They gave up 146 in the last game against Chicago. Chicago is balling out. They're playing good. They're playing good ball. It's going to be a tough game tomorrow. It'll be a really, really tough game tomorrow. See if the Lakers can make it happen, but it's going to be a tough matchup tomorrow. Let's get another one here from David. You know what I miss, Slee? The post game after the post game. Man, I used to have. There was a time. These were my hours when I was at 710. Okay, I would do Lakers Talk Daily I would do Travis and Sliwa show. I would do the pregame. I would do halftime. I would do postgame. I would do postgame after the postgame for YouTube. And then, of course, I do Lakers talk as well. Oh, my God. That was fun. That was fun. That was a fun time. And also, it was kind of fun when you're in the studio. Used to be in the studio at 7:10. It's like right after my official post-game show finished. Then I started the YouTube post-game, which were two different kinds of shows, right? One was I kind of had to just execute the X's and O's. That was just kind of structurally how you did it for the radio broadcast. And then I was doing YouTube where it was just kind of like this, shooting the shit. So post-game after the post-game. Yeah, that was back in the days. Back in the days right there. All right, we ready to do some roll call? Let's go. Let's get some roll call in here. Where the hell are you tuning in from? We'll get to an hour, and we'll call it a day. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. What city? What state? What part of the country? What part of the world are you tuning in from? Let me know. Always go wrong on that one. Always go wrong. So you got to go this way. Nope. Got to go this way. Nope. Go that way. So that's yeah. Always wrong on that one. All right, I'm gonna start looking at those in just a second. Let me get a couple of these supers in here. Why are we continuously getting heavily outscored in the third quarter? Yeah, teams are making some adjustments, and that's an area they're definitely going to have to be better in, Roy. I will tell you this. That second quarter for the Lakers won them the game. I think they were 40-22, something like that in that second quarter. They were fantastic. They were great. And that gave them enough of a cushion that even when they did lose out in that second quarter specifically, they still found a way to get that W and I guess have enough of a cushion to hold on to the game in the fourth quarter. Look, maybe got a little lucky tonight, but I really don't care. They're in the number 4 spot. They finally snapped their losing streak. They get a tough game against a really good team in Indiana at home specifically. Get the win and move on. Get the win and move on. All right, let's see where everybody's tuning in from. Slee, when are we getting that celebratory roll call, my guy? I got you. Don't worry. I got you. I pretend like I don't see all the comments. I see them. I know what's going on here. Not all of them. Sometimes they're coming in too fast. Bainbridge Island in Washington. Thank you for being a part of the show. I haven't seen that one before, so I appreciate you tuning in. Rochester, New York. Burbank in the house. Costa Mesa, thank you for tuning in. Tucson, Arizona. Shout out to Tucson. Azusa, California. Sherman Oaks. Who's better, SGA or Luka? Right now, SGA is about to get the MVP. So SGA is a baller. I think there'd be people out there that pick SGA. I think there'd be people out there that pick Luka. One thing I'll say with SGA is the guy plays phenomenal defense, obviously in tip-top shape. But Luka does some things that nobody in the league does. San Fernando Valley, bargain shopper, still one of the best YouTube names I've seen out there. Thank you for being a part of the show. Albuquerque, appreciate you. Torrance, LBCC, Pismo Beach in the house. Washington State, Crenshaw and Sloss. That's not supposed to be Slauson. All right. Slicing, California. Thank you very much for tuning in. Cincinnati, Ohio. Thank you for being a part of the show. That's right. Opening day tomorrow. Little Italy, Colorado. Las Vegas, Philippines. Best Covina. San Antonio. Johannesburg, South Africa. Seiko, thank you for being a part of the show. I know you're always hanging out. Mexico City, thank you for being a part of the show. Texas, thank you. 15 North. Take your time there on the 15. Take your time. You're driving here, take your time. Utah, thank you for being a part of the show. South Bay, Sunnyvale to SD, thank you for being a part of the show. San Antonio. South Bay, we got that one. Sherman Oaks, North Hollywood, Singapore in the house. Singapore, thank you. Get a couple more of these. The Venetian in Vegas. I like that. Go play some poker out there. How great is poker? Greetings from San Jose, Costa Rica. Laguna Nagale, thank you for being a part of the show. 818. Need some. Carl, might be onto something here. LAX on my way to what? Man, going in. Phenomenal. Santa Monica. Got you there. I got you there. Humboldt in the house. What is Humboldt known for? Humboldt's known for some certain things. Go make it happen out there. Riverside, California. Puerto Vida. Thank you for being a part of the show. Guadalajara, Mexico. JC, appreciate you being a part of the show. Honduras. Compton, California. Toronto, Canada. Thank you for being a part of the show, Toronto. Yeah, Raptors struggling. They're struggling. Boston in the house. Thank you. Hanford. All right, if I miss you guys, I'm sorry. There's a lot here. You won't beat me one-on-one, Slee. You just won't. Justin, don't start with me, bro. Don't start with me. I went on a jog today. I feel good right now. I might need 45 minutes to stretch. What are we playing to? We'll go on 11 ones and twos. Let's go to 11s, ones and twos. I'm just telling you right now, you better get me off that three-point line. You better get me. I live on that three-point line. All right, let's get some more here. Camden, New Jersey in the house. Temple City in the house. By Pasadena in the house. Hyde Park in the house. Honduras, thank you very much for tuning in. Compton, California. 951 in the house. Appreciate you all being here. Mount Vernon, Washington. All right, phenomenal. All right, we get everybody? Did I accommodate everybody? Did we get everybody's roll call? You guys are the best, man. It's fun. Fun doing this show. Fun running this channel. So it's I really appreciate it. I'm back on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We'll talk about obviously the game against the Chicago Bulls. We'll have some thoughts on the rest of this game as well. Some of those Stephen A. Smith stuff we'll have to address as well. So we'll get into all that. Thank you for being a part of the show. Hit over an hour. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Big time win for the Lakers. They needed it. They got it. 120 to 119. Lakers over the Pacers. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Thank you, everybody. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Have a great day.